Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not only was she one of Arnold's special guests, she was also asked to model in one of the natural fitness fashion shows. And if you saw Staci walking around, you can see why. Staci's an inspiration. She began her career in the U.S. Navy, and while in the Navy, she had various many medical-related positions. Since leaving the service, she's been a personal trainer, a group exercise instructor, a fitness director, a fitness club general manager, as well as a competitor in many, many fitness competitions. And did I mention that last year, Staci was awarded the Fitness Pro International Trainer Award, as well as being named New York City Strength Fitness Director of the year 2007. On top of being a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, and fitness model, this is what I'm talking about, ladies. She does it all. She's also a wife and mother of 2 adorable little boys. So we're honored to have Staci join us today and share her wisdom about fitness, nutrition, and how you just take time to take care of yourself. So please help me welcome Staci Boyer.
Hi, good afternoon. I want to thank David and Donna for having me here today, and my friend Kay for approaching me about this great opportunity. I am so honored to be here with you all today. So, she gave a fantastic introduction on Florida. It was really nice to hear all those things. And I've been in the fitness industry for 20 years, and so I've been training people for 20 years and being a Navy medic and doing all these things. And the last couple of months, I sort of took my years of experience and put it together as a motivational speaker. And I realized over 20 years of training people that, you know, you can see a Resist-A-Baller commercial and a Bowflex infomercial and go to the gym and the trainers can take you through a workout and you can go with your friend a couple of times, but it's really about what motivates you to be motivated to continue to do that. And I'm not going to underestimate anybody's intelligence in the room today by trying to tell you how to work out or really how to eat right. Because I think that you know, and if I stood here and said vegetables and lean meats, you guys would be like, seriously? So what I really want to talk to you about is trying to find something in your life, and I'm going to give you some examples of how we're going to do that, that's going to spark something, to make you realize, you know what, that is a good idea. Not just because I'm up here telling you what to do, because everybody always tells us what to do. It's what motivates us to be motivated. Now, the motivation that I'm going to talk about is different for everybody. For one of you, it may be weight loss. For someone else in the room, it may be sleeping through the night without waking up at 4:45 and, you know, watching something on the Sci-Fi channel, because my husband does that, and it's annoying. And, you know, for one of you, it may be making a phone call to a family member that you haven't talked to in 6 years, sibling, cousin, somebody you were close to. Making that phone call may change your life or theirs. It might be training for a triathlon, again, if you haven't done one in 13 years, David. So that may be your goal. Who knows? Okay, it's different for everybody. It's not just fitness or eating right. It's life altogether. And that's what we're going to talk about. Normally I walk around the room a lot, but I don't have a lot of cord, and I feel like I'm ducking down. So can I adjust this a little bit, David? Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to kind of sum up a little bit. You all have a little box in front of you, and that's for an activity. This is great. Okay, that's for an activity, because I only have 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to put all this into a nice little package for you. And the activity is going to come at the end. Oh, one more thing I also do, I'm a manager of a high-end Italian steakhouse called Grotto. Something else completely out of what I normally do, like on the side, but it's so much fun. I gave you all a little coupon for dessert or a free entree. And if you come in, I will also buy you a round of cocktails. So just don't come all in at the same time, because I might lose my job. But the box and the little bag are for an activity, so don't get too involved in it just yet. But what I want to do is we're going to write down some things that I want you to remember and think about, and then we're also going to write down some things that I don't want you to think about. And you'll understand that as we go through this. And then hopefully you'll leave behind something and take something very special with you.
I'm going to start off by talking about strength. And strength isn't just about working out or dumbbells, barbells. Strength is not defined by the absence of moments of weakness, but more in your ability to overcome those moments of weakness. I have that quote on some of my flyers out there. That is my quote. And I'll tell you when I came up with it. I came up with it about, my oldest son is 9. 7 years ago, I was a single mother, and I was commuting from Oak Brook to Round Lake Beach. Do you know where that is? Yeah. Isn't that a long? Yeah. So I got divorced. My first husband left when my son was 6 months old. So I had just gotten out of the Navy, and I didn't know where to buy a house and where to live, so it was kind of clueless. So it was commuting. It was a really long commute. Do you guys remember that snowstorm that we had about 7 years ago? The really bad one? I had my 2-year-old in the back seat of my Jeep. Okay, thank God it was a Jeep. For 6 hours. I was cold, he was hungry, he was screaming, he was crying. And I was pissed. And I was single, I had no man to call, and I was like, I am mad and angry, and I cried, and I came up with that quote that day in traffic. I feel like that quote that day changed my life. I put it on everything that I've written. I've told people about it. Ask Kay. I said it all the time to her. Because strength is not about not making mistakes. It's not about not having a bad day. It's not about not being upset with yourself. It's about being upset with yourself and getting over it. It's about looking in the mirror and going, I am going to make it one more day, and I'm going to make that choice. Which leads me to my next favorite quote, if I don't trip over my heel. When I was 8 years old, I played basketball. And interestingly enough, I was the shortest person on the team. I'm really 5'3", my heels are about 6 inches right now. So I played basketball at a private school. We didn't have a team, but my dad said, Staci Lynn, if you want to play basketball, we'll get you a basketball team. Because he was vice president of State Boat Corporation down in Louisiana. And he said, what do you want to name that team? And I said, the Mermaids. That's kind of weird, but that's what we were. So we were playing basketball, and do you think I knew how to play basketball? I didn't know how to play basketball. I was short, I couldn't jump, I couldn't do anything. I was fast. And my daddy said, Staci Lynn, destiny is not by chance, it is by your choice. That was very profound for an 8-year-old, but I'm telling you what, I remembered that. And I figured it out because I was fast and I owned it. I took responsibility of that one thing that I knew at 8 that I was good at. And as I've gotten older, at 8 years old, I was like, I can do it. At 18, hell yes, I joined the Navy. 28, rocking, 38 in September, working it, 48, you know it, and the rest is history. And my daddy taught me that when I was 8 years old, and I've never forgotten what he said to me that day. And that quote is also on my flyers. It's also everywhere, and I tell everybody, because it means so much. It's about ownership, it's about responsibility, and it's about accountability. To me, those things mean a lot, and I'll tell you why. When we have a bad day, or we have a bad situation that we're in, or we're trying to lose weight, or we're trying to eat right, we can blame other people for what we can and cannot do, but that's easy. It's a quick fix, it makes us feel good. But if we take the blame, and it's not necessarily taking blame, it's owning your decision, even if it's a bad one. Taking responsibility and accountability for your actions, for every single thing you do, it builds character. Character is an amazing thing. My dad taught me that as well. I'll refer to him a lot. He passed away when I was 27, and he never got to meet either one of my sons. So I talk about him a lot because he's a great man, and I feel like his wisdom made me who I am today. But every time I do something that I don't necessarily want to do, I tell myself I'm building character. And we cannot have enough of character. Character saves lives, character saves countries, it feeds the hungry, it houses the homeless. Character makes change. We never have enough character. Ownership, accountability, responsibility for our actions, owning what we do and what we think is building character. So I went through a lot of my notes already without even looking at them. How about that? That's cool. So I have another story here that is kind of interesting.